All right, welcome back to Lower Keys Living, everybody. Headed out yesterday looking, our plan was to target tuna. I'd been having a lot of luck running tuna about 350 to 400 feet of water, so we were running out that way. Had the boat set up and rigged for tuna. And as you can see, I've got the outrigger set out. I don't always run my outriggers when I'm targeting mahi specifically because they will come in close to the boat, don't really need them. But when I'm targeting tuna, I run the outriggers. It really helps keep those outside lures outside the wake and the engine turbulence. The tuna don't like that. They don't come into that zone. Mahi, a lot less skittish. They will come into anything. They just look at boats as another big fish in the sea. But again, had the outriggers out and we were running for these. We trolled for about an hour at the depths, 350 to 400 feet, where I'd been getting the tuna the last few days. Didn't have any luck, so we started heading on out. I'd been hearing they've been catching mahi on a regular basis at 650 to 700 feet, but we came across a massive weed line at about 550 feet. So we pulled the diving lures in so they wouldn't get tangled up on these weeds, and almost immediately started getting hit and got hooked up into the mahi. And not giant mahi, but definitely nice size, nice healthy keeper size mahi. This is the first one on the boat. My next door neighbor Joe was with us. Super guy, really talented fisherman. He's a big deep dropping fanatic, but he was out with me today and he's got this first mahi on. This was a nice fighting fish, lots of good jumps on this one. But it was great. Got the first fish in our boat after we were disappointed at not getting our target fish, which were the tuna and wahoo that we were going after. But again, we get this one on board. It was nice to get the first keeper in the boat, and you can see the outrigger on the left side there out. So we were running the outriggers on these, and it does make it nice because we're working a weed line. Having those outriggers, I can make a lot tighter turns without worrying about crossing lines and getting lines tangled over. So there you can see the first nice mahi is on the boat. I believe that one measured about 26 to 28 inches. So good keeper size mahi, super healthy. So we got the lines back set, got everything back out, started trolling again. You can see we've got everything lined up and just getting back up to trolling speed here as we're heading on out. But I'm going to take a moment, I'm going to jump over and I'll give you a little diagram of the layout of what I'm doing here to fish and what this setup looks like. Right, I'm going to show you my setup here really quick. I know I've done this before, but just to give you an idea of what we're doing and how I rig when I'm going out. And this setup really applies for when I'm tuna fishing or mahi fishing. Although when I'm mahi fishing and I know I'm going out targeting just mahi, I don't typically run my outriggers. Don't need those. The mahi will come in right inside your wake zone to get lures if they're set far enough back, whereas tuna tend to stay out of this. So I definitely run my outriggers when we're targeting tuna, which we were targeting today. Originally went out to target, but when we weren't finding them, then we started targeting the mahi. But because we had the outriggers, we kept running it. So on those outriggers, I run surface lures. They reduce the stress on those outriggers, a little less bend. And you know, I like the CNH lures. They're billy baits, either they're pink and white or blue and white. Joe, who's out with me, he really likes the blue and purple or blue and black ones, the darker colored ones. So it's all a matter of preference on those. Then on the inside here, I use diving lures, and I'll do two different depths. I'll try and get one that'll get down to 20 feet deep and the other one to 40 feet deep. I particularly like Nomad's DTX series. They just stay down consistently for me, and just like the setup, and I've had pretty good success with that. But other brands are out there, obviously, so if you got a preference, stick with what you like. Speed to me is really critical. I run 8 to 9.5 knots when I'm trolling, especially for tuna and mahi, and definitely running along weed lines. Going that fast, you're not going to lose mahi or tuna because you're going too fast. There's certainly way faster than that, but you're going to reduce the amount of junkfish hits that you get. And by junkfish, you tend to get a ton of Amico jacks under those weeds, and they're good eating, but they're small. You just need a number of them. And if I'm not targeting those, I don't want those. Just going a little bit faster tends to keep or reduce the number of hits you get by those junkfish. So my surface lures on the outriggers, I tend to run 150 feet, 200 feet back. those put them way outside the wake line, they get them back, and I tend to pick up more tuna with those lines that far back. If you're just targeting mahi and you're into mahi, you can shorten those up quite a bit, even 75 feet back. Mahi just don't seem to be afraid of the boats in the boat lake. And then those surface lures, again, I put those 100 to 150 feet back. That gives them enough line to get down to the depth you want them at. But by having them inside your surface lures, you can make much tighter turns. If your surface lures out on the outriggers are that same distance back, you can make a nice tight turn, and they're going to keep their spread on each other and not overlap. And same thing with those diving lures on the inside. If they're the same distance back, even though they're different depths as you turn, it's going to keep that distance on them and help you reduce getting crossovers. So that's my setup. Just want to run over that. Let's get back in the water and look at some more fishing action. All right, we are back on the water and fighting fish, and this time we are doubled up. I'm on the rod on the right side, Joe is here on the left side. If you look just to the left of the gap, you can see both mahi we have on are jumping, and unfortunately they're jumping over our lines, spinning around out there. So good fighting fish. We had a couple of really nice ones on there, but we're already realizing it's going to be a little bit of a fight here. They're going to confuse us. But good fight. You see nice bends on both rods. Got good fish on both of these. So trying to be careful to make sure we get both of these landed. But honestly, we start looking like the Keystone Cops here, trying to figure out which way we're supposed to go. We're just all over the place, and it just continues on here right up till we get the fish on the boat, because these guys are zigzagging back and forth. Joe and I are just chatting away, having fun talking through this one, and just kind of watching these come in. And even right now, as they're jumping and they're super close to the boat, can't tell which side and which fish is whose as they're getting in here, and they are not done yet. So you can see mine is making a bolt to the left. I'm trying to pull it back over to the right side, but then Joe's fish dives underneath it again, so we're trying to pull lines. You can see I thought I had mine where I could pull it over, but then Joe's fish shoots off to the right, and again it was just not chaos, but just kind of amusing that these fish were just so all over the place. And again, both nice fish. So happy that we were able to land both of these fish coming in here. You can see I grabbed the gaff. I like gaffing my fish. I know it was definitely right size, and I've lost a mahi trying to flip them over. Joe's got a little more confidence in his hook, and he just pulled that right up and over the side. So here in a moment, you get to see we get to compare whose fish is bigger on that one. But a couple of nice mahi on board, so we're glad we're getting fish in the locker, but good results, and you can see that weed line. So we fished around for another half an hour, 45 minutes, but had a long run in, decided to head in before sunset. Hope you like the information on here. If there's anything else you'd like to know about or have any comments on the way I'm setting up the fish, always welcome to it. I don't pretend to be the expert at all. I just share what I do and what I found out is working for me. But definitely, if there's better ways to fish and you've got success, there's certainly a lot of people that have been down here a lot longer than I have. Always love to hear from people and getting comments back from everybody. But again, hope this information helps you, especially people new to the sport, new to down here in the Keys and looking to troll, run their outriggers, and what type of stuff to run. Always reach out, leave comments below. They're always welcome. I try and answer everybody. But again, really appreciate everybody following along. We're about to pass 5,000 subscribers in a fairly short period of time. So really appreciate that, and appreciate everybody's support in helping grow this channel. And look at the sunset, look at the beams coming out behind the clouds. Just doesn't get any better than this. It's one of the things I really love about being down here in the Keys, is just the fishing, the constant action, and just being able to get out on the water. So again, hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next week on Lower Keys Living.